My name is Wojciech Furman, and I am the owner and the founder of CleverTool. I would like to introduce vice stop and parallel holding system designed by CleverTool that is incorporated on CNC machines on the vices. And this system was specifically designed to minimize the time that it takes for every machinist to set up a particular job. The kit basically consists of vice stop components, and the way those items are designed, they work together and they give machinists, setup machinists, multiple options of how particular parts need to set in a machine vise during the machining operation. What we found in our experience that we took a long time for jobs to be set up because we didn't have the right components available at that particular time. So what we have here pretty much maximizes all the options. The other part of that kit is parts that hold vice parallel. And vice parallels are basically, their function is to determine the height of the part, but also they need to be held in the vices so they don't move during the machining process. What we have here, we have all the components that goes together with the vice stop system. And basically what we got two jaws. Those two jaws get mounted on a CNC vise. First item of our stop system is just center stop, and basically fits on a jaw, but it's uniquely designed, and it's got some dimples in the back where you can position the vice stop in any desired position. It doesn't require tremendous force to tighten it up and leave it in a position, because the dimples are creating a positive stop. And that's what's a very unique design that makes our vice stop different than any others. For different purposes of machining, we also create another option, and that's a stop to hold the thin part. As you can see, the geometry on this element is a lot thinner than on that. That allows us to machine parts that are 1/8 thickness. For some reason, we are not able to use these items. We have an option to use extension rod. If our parts are longer than 6-inch vise, we can use extension rod and a side clamp, and that allows us to machine parts that are longer than 6 inches or the width of the vise. With this rod, we are also able to machine thin parts if we choose to use this end, or we can machine thicker part if we choose to use this end. These items are put together in a lock in place in any desired position. And it gives us an option of holding short parts, longer parts, or if we choose to put another extension rod on this side, we can build up and use it for really long parts as well. All our components, majority of them made out of alloy steel. The vice stops are heat-treated parts as the parallel holder. We have couple different setups here in the machine that will a little bit explain different usage of the vice stop system. In the middle vise, we have vice stop system set up that could incorporate a couple different parts in a vise at the same time. And it's our middle vice stop. But also, if we slide it over to the end, could be also used as a one-part slide. So it just depends on the application, but we got a couple different options. And the way we hold our parallel here is with the clips. So there's 4 clips. The clips are adjustable, and they can hold different thicknesses or multiple parallels attached to the jaws. Now on the other side, we have another application, and sometimes machining long thin parts, we need multiple parallels spaced out that allows us for the machining process. So if we were to continue to make a setup for this part and this vise, let's say that's a thin part wider than a vise, we would have positioned this part in this vise, and then we will use the side vise system to allow us to position this part for the machining operation. So the way this side right screws in right into the jaw. So basically I got it set it up this way, and I just gonna double check that everything is tight. So now if we take this part out and put it back in, this vise stop, it will ensure that the part goes always to the same position, and then when we tighten the vise, we are ready to machine it. So in the third vise here, we have another option of holding parts, depends on the length and the size. We have two options. We have a thin vise stop that we can position in any place here, and it also comes with the positive lock system. Got a smaller profile and is designed for parts that are 1/8 in thickness to machine. Or we got the rod, the smaller end of the rod, that also allows us to machine thin parts. It depends on the application. We can use either this one or we can use that one. We put the part in, and then we slide it all the way to the stop, and it helps us to hold the thin parts. Our standard vise stop with the positive lock comes with two socket-headed cap screws on each side. However, if you need to machine parts all the way around, you can remove the side screw and provide the extended socket-head cap screws, which in this case, if you have a part on each side, it will have enough clearance for a 1/2 inch end mill to come and machine the part all the way around. So you can have it short like this for majority of the machining, or you can add the extension if the process required to machine the part all the way around. So I would like to explain how you use the vise stop system and parallel system on a 6-inch curved vise. CleverTool jaws are unique because they got the dimples and they allowed a positive stop on our vise stop. But basically, this side of the jaws mounts on a fixed side of the curved vise. This is movable jaw, and it comes on this side of the curved vise with the orientation of those little holes towards the bottom. In order to use our vise stop system or parallel holding system, we need to adapt CleverTool jaws to any 6-inch CNC vise. After we mounted the jaws, now we are ready to put parallels. And depends of the application, we can use clips or we can use the V&W spring parallel holders. So with the spring is just a simple, depends on the width of the part. We were just laying them between the parallels, and the spring tension is gonna hold them in a position. If we have longer parts and we wanna use the clips, we simply mount the clips to the side of the jaws. And then by putting a little bit pressure and tightening the screw, we create a spring tension, and that spring tension holds the parallel in place. And if we open or close the vise, the clip holds that parallel in place. We also will have to put those clips on opposite side of the jaws. And now we are ready. Position our part in vise, and just for the purpose of the demonstration, part would sit on those parallels, and we can close the vise, and part is ready for the machining. So the clip parallel holder system, it holds parallels up to a ½ inch high. If we ever need to switch to the higher, taller parallels, we just simply pull a little pressure and remove the shorter, and then we can install the taller parallels. If we, for instance, have a part and we want to hold it in this position, we also now can install the side extension right. Now we're in a position for machining. We're adding parallel clips to ensure that the clips will keep the parallels locked or attached to the jaws, and the parallels will not move during the machining process. We attach parallels and parallels holding clips to the vise. Now we're going to attach a side stop. So a side stop consists of an extension rod and a side bracket. Screw it into the hole that is in a jaw. We can add either a positioning rod, or we can use just a socketed cap screw. Basically depends on preference of a machinist that is setting it up the job. This time we're going to use just a socketed cap screw, and roughly I think we should be able to set up a stop for this part. We have it in a position. We can make sure and lock everything in place. First positioning rod, and then the side bracket. And now we created a stop, so if we run production run and we keep on taking parts in and out, they always go to the same position. Instead of using the clips in some application, we can just use the WV spring tensioners, and basically they will hold but there would be roughly about this range, since they don't travel like the clips do, so they are good for certain ranges. So we can use them like that. Unless another option would be to add another set of those, we would have to add parallel spacer between them. Now we wire our area for holding the part. So we can use these or we can use these, but depends on application, depends on the size of the part, depends on what process we want to achieve during the milling operation. All the parts are manufactured here in United States at Crystal Lake facility. If you would like to learn more about CleverTool, you can go to our website, CleverTool.com, or you can email us at info@clevertool.com.